Hey guys. So are you feeling the resistance yet? I know I am. And if you are, let's celebrate. This is good news, really good news. Why would feeling resistance be good news? It's certainly not comfortable, is it? But the bigger the resistance you're feeling, the bigger the breakthrough that is possible. That's why we celebrate when we feel resistance. It is an indication that you're on the right track, that you're in momentum. When you hit that space of momentum, that's when all of the doubts, the worries, the fears, the judgments, the self-criticism, all that stuff comes up to be plowed through so you can have the big breakthrough. And so today's energy was all about, still is, all about the 8, which is a momentum. And so we have been feeling some big resistance coming up. Why so big in this particular 8 day? Because this is the first 8 energy following that super powerful new moon ring of fire solar eclipse that we just had last Thursday. And so that eclipse was extra powerful. Eclipses are always powerful anyway, but extra powerful because of the connection with the 369 that I've been talking about previously. And so this particular cycle of 9 days that started last Tuesday with the 1 energy day is just created a very amplified cycle. And today we're feeling more amplification of that before we go into the 9 tomorrow, which is when we actually have the breakthrough, we have the transmutation, we have the big awakening, whatever it is that you called in on that new moon. That is what is being amplified right now and what you are completing the cycle of tomorrow. And so it's really, really powerful this particular week. I've been feeling it really strong. And if you're watching live or on the replay, let me know in the comments if you've also been feeling things really strongly too, man. For me, all of the stuff, all of the crap started coming up over the weekend. And it's just been kind of going since then. And I called in so many big things. So there was so much stuff that had to come up and be shown to me to be cleared. And in order for me to have the things that I called into place. And if you were around last week on Wednesday, no, it was on Thursday. It was on the new moon eclipse that I announced that I started to shift directions in my business and into wealth expansion, self-mastery coaching, and quantum numerology. And so for all of that to really come into play, even though I've been leaning into that for a while, me making that announcement on that powerful day really opened stuff up energetically and called a lot of things within me to rise up, to be seen and to be released so that I could really step into that role in a much deeper way. So we have been feeling so much intensity in this past week because of this eclipse and because of the trajectory we created when we made our intentions last week for that new moon eclipse. And so now we're coming to the completion of that cycle. And so all of the stuff has been coming up. And today, with that 8 energy, just created such a momentum of it. And so if you have been feeling in the shit today at all, or having the shit come up, know that you're in exactly the right place. You're in exactly the place where you should be. And this is the moment where you want to really lean into your support networks, your cheerleader section, the people you have that you've surrounded yourself with that can tell you, cheer you on and, remind you that you're on the right path. And if you don't have those people in your life, then you need to get some and find your people, find your group of people that you can rely on to be able to share your visions with you in a very supportive way. in a way that helps you come into that expansion and helps you through those moments when you feel the momentum of all of the crap rising up and, you know, all of the negative self-talk, like, who do you think you are to try and, you know, do this thing? And you know, you can't do this. Here's all the reasons why you can't do this. And look at your past and look at all these things. And who do you think you are? You know, and that's when all of this stuff rises up, and your brain is really, and we've been talking about this in the brain game this week. This is the moment where, you know, your brain has been telling you, like, I don't want to leave the comfort zone, even though the comfort zone is miserable. And I know it's miserable and I'm not happy there. I'm not happy with my life the way it is. If I leave this space, what is it going to be like on the other side? You know, even though I thought that that's what I wanted, you know, I really don't know if it's going to be better. And so, you know, maybe I should just stay over here where at least, even though I'm miserable, I know what to expect. And that is really where the moment of truth comes, where this is where I've been saying so many times, decision making is your superpower. This is where decision making is really your superpower, because in those moments, that's when you really have to step into those decision making superpowers and decide that you're going to leave that comfort zone no matter what. You have to know where you're headed is so much more important to you than staying safe, than feeling safe, even safe in that misery that you've been in. You have to know without, beyond a shadow of a doubt, where you're going and why. And when you know that, then when all that stuff comes up, you can move through it. You can move through it. You can move through it into the breakthrough. You can move through it into the transformation. But unless you have that clarity and focus and the feeling attached to it, and are clear about why you're going where you're going and what you want to feel, it's very difficult to get through when all of the crap comes up. And this is also why you want your cheerleaders around you in this moment, because this is when you will be reminded of how incredible you are, how awesome you are, why what you want is what you want, and why it's important to you, and all of this stuff. So this is really the moment we're in right now. A lot of us are feeling this very strongly. The bigger the intention you set last week, the stronger you're going to feel this right now. And so that's really what's been going on. And if you are feeling this, you know, drop me a line in the comments if you're on the replay or the live, and let me know. And let me know what you're doing to get through these moments. And if what I'm suggesting resonates with you, and if you don't have that circle of people, this is really the call to find those people, find your tribe. What it can be, it doesn't have to be, like, for me, it's not, I don't have a lot of people in my physical surroundings that serve that purpose, but I have a lot of online relationships that I'm able to tap into in these moments, which I am so grateful for. And so it doesn't have to be people that are physically around you. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. So if you don't have those people in your physical environment, you know, perhaps your family isn't very supportive of what you're trying to do, or your significant other, or whatever, or even your friends, right? It doesn't matter, because you can find your tribe, find your people to tap into, because this month is all about those connections, right? And so really being called to, if you don't have that, find it. If you do have it, make sure you're tapping into it. And so I have some suggestions for you in tribes that you can connect into if you're needing one that is supportive of expansion. And one of the groups I love here on Facebook is called The Creators, and it is just amazing. I love to tap into the energy there, and the people there are incredible. And so I highly recommend that group, but there are so many, and you can, you know, look around. I can recommend other things to you. I would definitely check that one out. And just find your people, because these are the moments when all of the crap comes up that you really want to tap into that support. And so everybody have a great night. Thanks for joining me live or on the replay. And thanks for letting me know you're here. Hey, Sarah, see that you joined. And great to see you, and have a wonderful, wonderful evening.